RTD Live Talk, Detroit's number one late night YouTube talk show. We are live for a Wednesday night live stream, inaugural Wednesday night live stream. It's the 20th of the month of January. Excited to be back for another live stream. And of course, a lot of things happening in the news, but curious to get your thoughts on where we're at now and more importantly, what's next and where we're heading. So, looking forward to having some good back and forth this evening. And as always, any new viewers, feel free to let me know where you're watching from via the chat, as well as feel free to call in when the phone lines are open. We'll love to hear from you guys this evening. And of course, setting records already, man. It looks like it's an executive order contest for the Biden administration. And so I'm also curious to hear the thoughts of those out there that were expecting some type of military situation or something like that unfolding today. And so, yeah, a lot of things worth talking about, man. So let's dive right in. And let me check in via chat real quick, see who's tuning in. We got Mr. Solo. We got Babar in the building. Glad to be here. Appreciate you, Solo. Appreciate you, Bar. And what else we got here? We got Dominic. What else we got? Crypto Elf says we're going to be okay, guys. This is a generational battle, definitely. Yeah, everything will be fine. Everything is moving in the direct trend in which it was supposed to. And so, for those that, depending on what side of the spectrum you're thinking, there's people out there, a good portion of people, 80 plus million or so, that thought that the Trump administration, up until this point, was basically put in place to derail the deep state. And so in time, we'll be able to look back and see exactly what this prior administration was actually all about. But based upon executive orders put in place, it looks like everything that he attempted to do to slow down the globalist agenda, because that's ultimately what it all boils down to. It's those that are orchestrating this whole transition towards that one world approach. And it looks like, according to these executive orders, we're back on course for that direction. So we will see, but it's still relatively early. And we'll see how things pan out in Congress when it comes time to do what they will do best, which is to try to usher in new stimulus policies to take care of some of the things he's trying to combat, according to him. So, but we'll see. We got Loretta. What else we got here? Tony B in the building. Worldwide emergency. The Ripple Life of Ripple. Okay. Appreciate everybody for taking time and joining us. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts, and feel free to chime in. So I want to go to this first article here and just shine some light on what's happened thus far. And then today is still young. It's 8 o'clock. So don't be surprised if there's a couple more executive orders coming. But the article caught my attention. Thought I would share it. It says Biden signed more executive actions on day one than Trump, Obama, and Bush combined. And so, the unraveling of everything done that went against what the globalist agenda was, or is rather. So here's a little visual aid here. It just gives a time frame as to in the very first day. You know, Bill Clinton did one, George Bush did one, Barack Obama did none, Donald Trump did two, which looks like reversing the Affordable Care Act. And then we have Joe Biden, who his second one, according to here, is reversal of Trump's decision to remove the U.S. from the World Health Organization. And then, of course, repealing the Muslim travel ban and a variety of other things we're going to talk about as well. So waste no time getting back to the world order of trying to lead this country straight down the gutter in a continuation sense. So we're going to see what's going on, man. But I'm curious to hear what's going on. Feel free in the chat, highlight at Rethinking a Dollar. Let me know your thoughts. Based upon, are you guys surprised about this bombardment of executive orders? Curious to hear what you guys think. And then in a minute, we'll go through some of them in more detail. But literally, not even a full day, I'd imagine. Tomorrow's going to be some more, and we'll see. So it's going to be interesting. Mike B, very good one. Says guns should be a big issue very soon. Okay, so what's next? And so that gets into the what's next category. And so Janet Yellen, once she's confirmed, and of course, everything that we're going to witness within the next couple of weeks, within that 100-day window, which is a part of, I guess, one of the executive orders that was signed, was the executive order for the 100-day slow to curve, or whatever it's packaged as. The question will be, all those executive orders were already written and scripted out well before today. And so what's inside of those things? What are the details, which will be very concerning as they come out? But we all know, based upon where this is going, Janet Yellen is going to get into office. And of course, they already have what events need to take place as far as probably eventually rolling out the next stimulus of some kind, and two or three more rounds of stimulus. Then they're going to come out with the need to address the whole Federal Reserve charter situation and how to merge the Federal Reserve balance sheet with the Treasury and make it all one. And so those things are coming amongst, the guns and what else? I think the governor. So here in Michigan, according to what my wife informed me, was that it looks like Governor Whitmer, who was there at the inauguration today, released a 3-page paper or something, basically saying it's time to open up the schools. It's time to, try to get back to somewhat normal. And so, yeah, all the things that President Trump mentioned would happen the day he would leave office is that they're going to try to reverse course, to try to shut down the economy, destroy everything under his watch. But now they're going to try to open things up, and, we'll see where it goes. But I think one thing that will be interesting. And so President Trump, was a former President Trump, I think it was all the fall of last year, was talking about if Biden gets in, we're going to have the biggest stock market crash since the Great Depression. And he said that several times. Now, let's see what happens. And so will we have that great stock market crash, or will, as I see here in the chat, will the printers go bananas and prop that stuff up, keeping it from crashing down? So time will tell. Time will tell. All right, so I see I missed something. Says that pipeline has been canceled, costing 2,000 Canadian workers layoffs. Jay, yeah, and so that's another executive order. So on day one, things are going a little bit crazy. Says Trump bought a small taste of MMT. Yeah, and that's the thing. So with the whole MMT, and so I got another video is coming probably tomorrow, but just laying some interesting concepts around the MMT. And so basically, it's just a furthering of it's going to be a rebranding of how they monetize the debt. Debt is going to be perpetual. It can't stop, or the system crashes altogether. And so it's going to be a perpetual way of basically monetizing the debt directly through the Federal Reserve. And that's all that's going to be different. But it's just going to be packaged up differently, because once that is announced officially, and it's just off the idea of a 50-year bond being floated out there, had the bond markets responding a little bit differently than expected. So there will be no foreign buyers of U.S. debt moving forward, more than likely, especially if that 50-year bond is thrown out there. And then, of course, who's going to buy it? The Federal Reserve and whatever other entities, the plunge protection team, and whoever else is out there that's that they're going to look to use that missing 21 trillion or 35 trillion or whatever trillion is out there. Those funds might come floating back in to prop the bond market up continuously. So, but that's what it is, man. I'm sure you guys are expecting that. I know I have been. So not too surprised at this current moment. I'm interested to see what's inside the Federal Reserve toolkit, because we'll see if that's the ultimate tool as far as the merger of the Federal Reserve and the Treasury together. Because once that does officially happen, which I believe it will the Federal Reserve even need to talk about tools? Because it'll all be rolled up under Uncle Sam's umbrella. So we'll see. And so I see the Right Life Ripple says so that certain letter in the alphabet that a good portion of the libertarians and constitutionists love to follow as far as trusting a plan. I wonder what their thought process is. And of course, I would imagine I've actually had a chance to watch a couple other content creators issue, not necessarily apologies, but those on a spiritual side, those that were prophesying, saying that, the Lord said Trump would be in a second term and stuff like that. I've seen a couple people come out and, not necessarily apologize, but basically say, utilizing the fact that according to God's timing. So different spins on that. So I won't clown anybody on that front there, but I think one thing, and I'm gonna stop ranting and open up the telephones, but I think one thing that we all can take away from this, and feel free to chime in the chat or via phone call, is that in time we'll look back and see what this past 4 years really meant for the direction that those that are still in power, those are still our dominant forces in our government as well as in our financial system. We'll see if this was a part of their original plan to basically expose the 80 or 90 or so million Americans that were diehard Constitution lovers and gun right owners. And so I think by now, if from the surveillance state point of view, they know who are diehard Trump supporters. And so now we'll see how they respond to those individuals. And of course, it will not be in a very favorable way, because outside of, I haven't talked about the camps that are already set up and already, positioned where they might be. I'd imagine that they know who and where to go now. They know addresses, they know faces, they know names of everybody who were a part of the support base for that particular candidate. And I think that could have been a part of their design as well, to really bring out those that were willing to go to bat for that individual, referring to ex-President Trump. And so now, you remove that part of the population, you have a dumbed down version of the rest of the population that could care less about politics, the country, or anything else. And those will be the people who will accept anything thrown at you without any hesitation. And that could be a part of their plan as well. So we will see. But I'm going to stop ranting because I can go on and on. Phone lines are open right here, 313-462-0027. Give me a call. Let's talk. I'm curious to get your thoughts on what's going on today. Miles says, are you stacking food? Definitely a worthy investment. Yeah, so stacking extra calories is something that should be a part of everyone's strategic reserves. And so, as I've mentioned before, and that's because I don't necessarily I don't preach or, talk about the preparation side of things outside of the financial realm. That's pretty much what the channel was founded upon and based upon, and right now is still important. But then again, all of the financial preparations is for the things needed for life, necessities such as food, shelter, water, clothing, things of that nature. Now, there's other people out there that go, down into the nitty gritty of what and how and all that stuff like that. I'll leave that to those individuals who focus on those, that type of content. But definitely, every time you go to the grocery store, you should buy something extra in the form of things that you would need for emergency sake, as well as all the dried goods as well. So I do believe in that. But let's talk to each other. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, Tony from Oakland. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, TB. Give me your quick thoughts, my friend.
White House website's down. Normally, if a president does anything, it has to go in the it has to go in the record, and that's what you look at first to see how true it is.
Yeah.
And it's down. You can't find anything of the executive orders that Biden allegedly signed today.
Okay.
Not only that, that today was a virtual inauguration. If anybody wants to look it up, they can. It wasn't a true inauguration.
Okay.
They signed him in. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They signed him in way before the alleged time that a president's supposed to be sworn in. They signed him in like 10 to 15 minutes earlier.
Okay. So we got the replay. or shown on TV was a replayed version.
It's CGI version.
Okay.
You see how beautiful that parade was?
I didn't watch it in detail, so I'd be lying if I said I did. But
it had me fooled until I actually heard someone said that the inauguration. I didn't remember that it was going virtual because of what happened on the 6th. Biden was scared and put it out virtual. If you're going to do a virtual, why do you need 20,000 military to surround the Capitol and the White House? And it's like a takeover with barbed wire fence.
Now, okay, so as you're talking, I pulled up the whitehouse.gov, and so it's a big picture of Biden at the podium, at some rally or something like that. So we got some information here, but I didn't go deeper into any of those.
No,
go ahead.
If you click on any one of those sites, and if there's an executive, you go look in their executive orders. If you click on that executive order, anything he signed today needs to be put in that. It needs to be on the website. That's the official website of the government.
Okay.
To check to see how real this stuff really is.
Right.
If Trump released on his last day Operation Hurricane or something I put it in the chat.
Okay.
I didn't know if you've seen it or not.
I did not yet. Go ahead.
Okay, but on his last few days, he put in Operation Hurricane or Operation Crossfire Hurricane. That was it, Operation Crossfire Hurricane, and that was to expose everything from 2016 about him being spied on by the FBI. It's like a counterintelligence deal to do with. And I don't know. I'm sitting on the sidelines, just with my popcorn, and I may have to make enough for 6 months, but that's what we need to do.
Yeah. Now, as you're talking, I'm thumbing through the page a little bit, and I see this website. Off the first look, it looks like it was probably I didn't see Biden.com or whatever, but it's Biden based, and there's no details. And nothing on here is modern and current. So everything here is like just a generic information. So good. That's a good point about those executive orders. If they're official, they should be up here by now, but they may have not made it up there just yet. So good stuff, man.
That's one to keep an eye on. And Nano.Joe, I'm not a Q-tard, man. I have no dog in this fight. Let him know that. I'm all about my work, man.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you for bringing that to our attention, man. Appreciate you for calling me.
Brother.
All right, be good.
Keep your head up.
I will do.
Bye.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Way to bring that to our attention. And so on the whitehouse.gov, nothing is officially there. And of course, I was listening to another content creator today, and he mentioned about something about the Pentagon not allowing Biden to have access to some things that he should have. And so why is that? And so once again, it's still relatively early, so we'll see. But hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Andor Colo. I'm calling from Nevada, Sparks, Nevada.
Andor from Nevada. How you doing, my friend? What's in your mind tonight?
I'm really shocked to how many people are, I know there's some fraud in there possibly in the election now, but how many people are willing to go along with this?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the amount of million of people that supported Trump and how many are in this country, there's so many still that's willing to go communist.
Yeah.
No? Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah, so to me at this current moment as of today, with all the things that we've witnessed over the last 2 months since the election process began, it exposed a lot of the corrupt politicians that were already there, and it just shows how much of a crime syndicate our governmental structure and the entities are, to where every entity was in on all the CIA, FBI, all those agencies were all
it's true
in cahoots towards this particular day here for this president. And so it just showed how bad things really are and how strong they want to take us towards that one unified governing body. Like this is at the essence of this is spiritual in nature. And I've witnessed the amount of evil that has been present in this country, to where it's right in alignment with where we're heading. And so the question I want to throw out there to people was Trump presidency a disruption in that, for real? Or was that a part of their plan to, as I mentioned before, expose those who are still lovers of this country and the people they're now going to target? Because yesterday I saw stuff about the need to begin deprogramming those supporters of this prior administration. So they're going to start pushing that agenda of deprogramming. And of course, that means re-education. And how do you do that? Well, from history, they isolate those that think differently and they punish them in a sense. And, what comes with that. So, yeah.
Right. I have seen that. I've seen some pastors that were there. They had nothing to do with what was going on, but the FBI went and contacted them. And, they're just pastor preachers.
Yeah.
And they wanted to talk to them. And, it just surprises me, though, even how big the corruption is.
Yeah.
How many people in this country are corrupt? Quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, So the American people, for those who care and those who love this country and love the idea of freedom and property rights and ownership and things of that nature, we got a chance to see who out of everybody is probably the filthiest out of the batch of dirty laundry. And so now it's a matter of, okay, what do we do as people who want to keep this country is some form of fashion to what we've known before? Because if not, with these policies that's coming, they're going to restructure this damn thing quickly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, it surprised me. I was hoping Trump might do something before he left, say something about it or whatever. He's going out of office.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's like, I understand what you're saying about him. I listened to you several times. You do a great show as usual. And, but he never came out and, once in a while throw a little bit of sample out there, but that was it. But never really went down, figuring the last week he's already being impeached, why not tell everything about everyone, but nothing came out. Nothing came out at all.
Right. So
we'll have to see what happens in time.
Yeah.
Like you
well,
said,
hey, I
time will
appreciate you
tell
calling.
everything.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you calling,
Great
my friend.
show. Keep up the good work.
Will do. All right. Be good.
You too.
Good stuff, Matt. So here's something here I want to bring up. So here in Detroit, our former mayor of Detroit, we had Kwame Kilpatrick. And so as a part of his pardons and commutes for prisoners or whatnot, we have Kwame Kilpatrick, former mayor of Detroit, who 10 years ago, I think he had a nice 5, 6, 7 year term of just pure corruption. Like, he gutted the city of Detroit. And so, of course, on social media, a lot of people who are in extreme support of this current administration now are excited to see stuff like this. And of course, we got Lil Wayne and a couple other people out there who have all been pardoned and sentences been commuted or whatnot. So a lot of people are disappointed, thinking that Snowden, Assange, as well as a couple other people who were actually true patriots in the essence of being willing to expose how corrupt this entire system is, did not get pardoned. So, surprise, yes or no? Who knows? Solo says, Cedric the Entertainer. Caller talking over Mike like he's trying to turn. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's a talk show for you guys, man. Feel free to call. I want to hear your voices, man. Give me a call. Let's talk. Share with me your thoughts on what's going on. Nano Joe says, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, none of them have addressed the elephant in the room, the Federal Reserve. They're all puppets for the Rothschilds. Better buy Bitcoin. Printers going brr. Yeah, this is a time like never before. Do you want to get your weight up? Because so this picture right here where we got Joe, I'm gonna move that question mark, because as of now, Joe is the president, and this is the purchasing power of the dollar over the last 107-ish years, and this thing is about to go whoop, even, and this thing about to go really in the tank. So yeah, we're gonna, people gonna get what they wish for. They just don't know what's on the other side of that. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. Tim, Colorado.
Tim, how you doing, my friend?
Region 8.
FEMA Region 8. How you doing, my friend? What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I'm not doing too good. I don't know about the rest of the world, but
Uh-oh.
And it wasn't who got voted in; it's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Bolshevik Revolution, Weimar Germany.
Yeah.
I know exactly where we're going, and there's nothing we're going to do to change it, except for die and try and defend ourselves in the process, or go to the higher source.
Yeah.
Because it's on. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, but yet once again, what troubles me, but what always had me the most confused is the fact that there's a good portion of the population that thought that there was a smidget of of genuine that particular letter of the alphabet, as well as all the other people out there saying that this is the day, be patient, get your popcorn, and enjoy the ride, the tribunals and all the Guantanamo and all this corruption going to be exposed. I'm like, I just never could understand how people thought that there was going to be some type of revelation of truth, and then we was going to have justice and to live happily ever after with, the evil gone. And so, yeah. So,
but
as I
Mike,
mentioned before,
you got to remember, you're not the average Joe. Okay.
Well, thank you, sir. But I mean, but it's like, it's kind of seems like, I thought it was like common sense that, where this is all heading, but I don't know.
No, that doesn't work, Mike.
Yeah.
I haven't woken anybody up. No one.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I'm done, right? And I don't think stacking your weight, I already did all that, in at least 5 precious metals, or at least 3 that, including lead. And it doesn't matter anymore, dude. Yeah. We're infinitesimal. I think the higher source is all we got, brother.
Yeah, and that was all we had before all this. And so, putting your trust in him and your faith in him was the numero uno. Everything else was just, we're in this world, but not of it. So that's the tough part. Yep. It's like, as a part of this world, you live in this body, in this earth, you want to play your part, but realize, for those that are believers, this current realm of life is not the end for us. And I can understand how it's hard sometimes, because we are human with emotions. And so I understand, man. But keep your head up, man. And definitely stay prayed up, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong about one thing before I let you go. One more question.
Go ahead.
Okay. This realm isn't for us, but I don't think everybody escapes it. And I agree it's temporary, but I think there's some people that aren't going to fare so well out of this.
Oh, I agree. And that's where and as a part of their agenda, them meaning the globalist, one world direction that we're heading in, the depopulation side of things is still on the table. And so you got the jab stuff out there now, and I'm seeing more stuff, as far as that, the experimentation of that, like the whole rollout of the emergency. So right now it's still on the emergency window. It's not fully available to everybody just yet, I don't think, but yet they're literally sitting back and watching. they're watching the side effects from this. So like this is the test run right now we're experiencing. So yeah, but pay no attention to that, Mike. Just take the jab. I'll pass. But hey, Tim, appreciate you, man.
I know, right, die, brother. Spread the love.
Yeah. Tim, man. Anyway, man, let me hear from you guys. Give me a call. Let's talk. Phone lines are open. Saw some interesting thoughts out there. We need production. People are still asleep. No doubt ignorance is bliss. Just let them play their games. Yeah. The next stimulus is further stimulus for everyone that's getting poorer and poorer, and they're getting guns snatched. Yeah. Adam says it's not over. And that's the thing. It's not over. As long as you're breathing air and still have opportunity to choose and to make choice as to how you want to live your life, it's not over. But yet what they're going to try to do is squeeze us in more. And so you have a good portion of the population that will not put up resistance towards what's going to be rolled out in the coming weeks and months, because they look at it and they're going to buy into the propaganda. And so as a part of one of the executive orders is the whole 100-day push. And so within that 100-day push, let me find that. Within that executive for, here's, let me see, put it on the screen here. So here's a list of executive orders signed today, which I don't think they're all 17, but this is what we're told was signed today. And as Tony mentioned, it's not officially on the White House page yet, but according to what they want to do and the stuff that's already prepared that we knew about prior to, was this 100-day mask challenge to encourage Americans to wear masks. So as a part of that right there, there's no telling what's in the details. And of course, they did videos in the past about how they're setting aside large chunks of cash for the actual mainstream media propaganda push to basically find celebrities. And so just today, NBA commissioners talking about, utilizing the NBA level platform of encouraging Americans to get the jab through the NBA players. And so far, a couple of them, majority of them probably like, I ain't putting that in my damn body. So we'll see how all these tools that they like to roll out on American people will work. But once again, we're gonna hear all types of new ways of them trying to spin out the importance of participating willingly. And it's those people who are patriots / lovers of this country will be painted as the reason why we can't move forward, the reason why we can't, further advance and, move into the next realm of what they want to roll out to us. So, but that's where we're at, man. And so we will see. It says America says 100 million vaccine is the first 100 days of Operation Warp Speed. So, yeah, that's another thing. Operation Warp Speed, which is a newly created portion of the government, which is the merger of the Department of Defense and Department of Health, merging together to form a whole nother entity in the government. They're still in existence. And on top of that is the surveillance aspect. And so I saw somebody mention out here that, there's this whole surveillance aspect of them being able to track, trace, and monitor who you are. And even as somebody mentioned in the chat, using big tech too. So you got Googles and Twitters and all those big tech companies where throughout the last however years, we've all searched, Googled here and there, and just happened to search and, talk Siri and Alexa and all those, asking questions about things that they want to remove from our history books. And those people, of course, there's a track record. Everybody has a file with Google. If you got an Android or Apple on your phone, you've actually given them all the data they need to determine if you are a part of the transition or if you're going to be a hindrance to the transition. So those are things that are out there. But once again, God is in control, man. I'm actually, feeling a sense of excitement that, now we get a chance to open our eyes up and begin really seeing what we're made of. Like, we're all going to get a chance to be tested in some form or another, and we're going to find out what we're made of. And of course, basically trust in the Lord, man. You got to stand with the Lord all the way through this thing and realize the battle is not yours. All this, in my opinion, everything we're going to witness moving forward is the spiritual element of things, and it's the fight against God's children. Like the fact that the enemy, i.e. Satan, absolutely is bent on doing what he do best, which is to seek, kill, steal, and destroy. They're going to do it in different ways. Of course, they're going to incentivize people, and they're going to use technology against people, and they're going to use division amongst one another to call out and single out people. And yeah, we will see. Arch, great point there. That's another thing I saw earlier. It says Amazon has just offered to help Biden to distribute the jabs. And it said didn't offer Trump any help though. Right. And so Amazon is everywhere, 24/7 a day. You know, if you're watching this, Amazon comes down your street or in your town daily, hourly almost. That's how big Amazon has grown as a result of them shutting down the entire economy. So Amazon, Walmarts will probably be the primary retailers moving forward, as all the small mom and pop stores will be officially closed once Biden issues that next official nationwide lockdown. And so we will see. But anyway, people, it was great checking in. Hope everyone's doing well. Stay prayed up, and definitely. And that's another, despite what we think, despite our personal opinions on the political side of things, we're still instructed for those that are believers to pray for those in positions of authority, regardless of whether we understand it or not. You know, God still uses individuals. That's how things get done. So pray on behalf of those in power, corrupt and all, because God still can turn hearts. And so with that being the case, that is what it is, man. And we'll back at it tomorrow, Lord willing, same time, same place. Be blessed. If you've enjoyed the back and forth, if you enjoy hanging out in the chat, definitely hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. And as always, I want to make sure that I encourage everybody that are still tuning in. Click the link beneath here to the social media platforms, and you'll see everywhere Rethinking the Dollar is located at. And also want to encourage you guys to go over to the Discord page, where a good amount of people hang out throughout the day. I see people chatting amongst themselves. So yeah, anyway, that's where we can find us at. And if you want to be a blessing to the channel, feel free to support via Patreon. Any crumbs is helpful when it comes time to, just basically provide and keep the lights on around here. But appreciate you guys. Be blessed, be safe, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Hey there, sorry for this interruption, but I wanted to bring something to your attention. If you've been enjoying this live stream, why don't you partner with me and be a support to the channel via Patreon membership for just a minimum of $5 a month. All you have to do is scroll down beneath this video here, click the Patreon link, then consider donating as little as $5 a month towards the channel. A little bit of crumbs can go a long way, and I appreciate your support. Now, let's get back to this live stream.